Hello everyone, I'm going to show you how to use Zoom today, either on a desktop, laptop, or on a phone. I'm going to show you how to get in and how to change some of the settings that you will use throughout our class. So first things first, you need to be able to get into the Zoom. If you have the link, you can always just click on the link. It will pop up and say open Zoom meeting, and that is what you want to do to join our Zoom meeting. You will then need to enter the password if there is a password. The other option is to go to zoom.us. In the top right-hand corner, click Join a Meeting, and you will then need to enter the code or those numbers, which are down here, the meeting ID that you need to enter. And then you will need to enter the password for that meeting. So let's talk about how to use Zoom on your devices. So first, if you're using a laptop or a desktop, once you get into Zoom, in the bottom of your screen will be all of your options. In the bottom left-hand corner, you will have your unmute and your video options. When the red line is through them, that means they are off. We cannot hear you, we cannot see you. So to turn those options on for our class, you will need to click on the little video camera there to share your video. You will need to click on the microphone to share your sound, to unmute yourself. So you want no red lines. If there are red lines, no one can hear you, no one can see you. The other option at the bottom in the middle is the chat box. So maybe your microphone is not working. If you need to communicate with us, you can use the chat box. You can also use the chat box to ask questions. Next to the chat box is the participants button. The reason that you might need to use this is because you may need to change your name. If you are logging on under someone else's Zoom account, you will need to put in your first and last name. So when you click on participants, you click rename in the top right-hand corner, and it will come up with a box like this. You can enter your first and last name. If you want the computer to remember your first and last name, you can click that box in the middle. If you do not want it to remember, so maybe you're on your dad's account and you're only using it temporarily, then don't have it remember your name. Just type in your name, you can use it for this meeting. Okay, and you can always change that for every meeting. The other option when you are using chat or participants, you need to learn how to close that window. You do not click the X in the top right-hand corner. If you do that, that will close the entire Zoom window. We do not want to do that. Instead, we click on this little tiny arrow and click close. That will close the participants box. That will close the chat window, but it will still leave Zoom open for you. If you are using a phone, these options are also available on the phone. You can use the app. The app is free, and you can log in on Zoom. So on the app, the second button from the left is the join button. So you will need to click join and then enter in, again, your meeting code or your meeting ID, as well as your password, if there is a password for that meeting. Sometimes there is not a password. On the bottom, you have the option of clicking settings. Under settings is where you change your name. So you click settings, click your name here at the top, and then display name is the name that you want to change so that we can see your first and last name. The other option is your mute and camera options. Again, they are in the bottom left corner. The red line means that no one can hear you and no one can see you. If you want us to hear you, you need to make sure that you unmute. If you want us to see you, please make sure that your camera is on. In the bottom right-hand corner is a more option. This is where your chat comes into play. So maybe you're in a very loud place and you cannot unmute. You can use the chat to communicate. If you click more, then you click chat, you can talk to all of us. So hopefully that helped you, and I hope to see you on Zoom.